Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome to the start of my new F1 2020 Fantasy Manager career mode here with McLaren F1. Yes, we finished off Season 2 of the Ferrari 2019 career. I said I was weighing up my options of what we should do. We're going to take a little breather from that career mode, and we're going to step into a 2020 Fantasy career mode here. And like I said, we're going to be managing McLaren, Carlos Sainz, and Lando Norris at the wheel for 2020. We've got basically the 2019 Fantasy mod, and we've done all the transfers for 2020. There haven't actually been that many, of course. So if we go to the standings, then obviously Albon's now at Red Bull, Gasly's gone to Toro Rosso permanently, Ocon in the Renault now, Hulkenberg is actually still on the grid because this is the Fantasy Career Mode mod. So there is Mana Racing and also this other new team, Alpine Racing. So of course, from like you've seen with if you've watched other career mode episodes from the Fantasy Career, we've got Massa and Alonso in the Alpine Racing team, and then Mana here has got Nico Hulkenberg and who else? I don't even know actually who they've got. Mana Racing, they've got Hulkenberg and Vern. So you've got those two extra teams on the Fantasy Career Mode, just the way that the mod's basically made, but it kind of makes it a little bit more kind of fuller in terms of the actual grid itself, but then everything else is a la the 2020 season. That's pretty much the only changes in Latifi at Williams there. So everything else is like it is with the 2020 season. Same thing even with the pecking order. You've got obviously Merc, Ferrari, Red Bull. We here at McLaren are in P4. Renault very close behind us in P5. Toro Rosso their P6. Racing Point, Haas, Alfa Romeo, Williams, and then the two kind of extra teams there at the bottom, so they won't interfere with the actual pecking order and the running of this midfield fight. But obviously the hope is in 2020 McLaren make another step forward towards the top three, and then from beyond that to 2021 try and become a top three team once again, or try and get back to where they basically were, to glory. But obviously it's a long way off still in real life. Obviously I'm hoping that we can be a little bit quicker in this career mode and maybe get them to the forefront within 2 or 3 seasons. But this first season very much will be a building season, trying to ensure that we can maintain pace ahead of Renault and the likes of even Toro Rosso and Racing Point on their day, and maybe surprise Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes at certain circuits. But yeah, looking forward to this one. It's been a while since we've done a manager career mode where I've been in a midfield team trying to get them back up the order, whereas obviously with Ferrari you're at the front, you're pressurized to perform, whereas McLaren we're not going to be pressurized to exactly win races or get podiums. We're just trying to do the best job we can and try and maximize every single race and opportunity we have basically. But it's going to be tough. The car is actually, it's okay in terms of stats, like overall we're P4, but you can see the tyre wear is horrendous on the chassis makeup there. Tyre heating's excellent, fuel efficiency is okay. Also Carlos Sainz actually has a easy on the fuel perk, so he'll be quite easy on the fuel in the race, so that'll be very helpful. But the tyre wear, 1.5 stars, that's going to make things very interesting and very difficult for me versus the AI. And you guys know anyway, I'm not that great at doing tyre wear anyway on this game because I always go quite aggressive anyway, so that's going to be something to look at. But in terms of the stats, we're okay. Engine-wise, we're slap bang in the middle, just behind Renault there. Gearbox P6, we're actually a little bit higher than on deceleration, and the aero, the suspension halfway there, and then the aero P4 there. So we've got a good spread of where our car's strong. It's a very middle playing, and there won't be, hopefully there won't be a circuit where we're going to be horrendous at, but that's the kind of sticks of it. That's the overview. So let's kind of get through all the emails then and welcome ourselves into this new season. Now, if you see throughout this career mode, basically it says 2019, even though it's a 2020 career mode. Obviously I've based this off the 2019 fantasy mod, and there's no way I can physically change that to 2020, but obviously you guys know, like I just said, all the transfers are done for F1 2020. So here we go then. Zach Brown welcomes us to the team. We've got targets for this season. We've got either 6th, 8th or 10th, which is quite modest really for where we want to be. So I'm going to go for 6th. I think we should easily get 6th place there, which like I said means it's going to be very different to the Ferrari career mode. There's less pressure to perform in terms of for the chairman and whatnot. It's really just about ourselves and trying to improve upon what we can do as a team rather than what our chairman wants to do. Obviously we've got the 3-stage qualifying and we've got the pit crew there. Got it. And so let's have a little gander at the pit crew here. A little bit worse than we were at the Ferrari crew mode at the tail end of that, but we're still decent pit crew, I would say. In terms of new hires, we've got a front jackman we could probably hire, so let's go ahead and get him. We've only got 5.8 million though to work with here, so unlike Ferrari, we don't have too much money to play around with. Of course, when you start off the first season, your car's already made though, so that's the one difference there. But I think I'm probably going to leave hiring too many people. I'm going to reject all these guys and leave it for now and see how we do later on. In terms of this front jackman, though, we can actually swap him out there. And so we got a decent front jack. So already improving the pit stop time to 2.25 there. And then there's no other improvements to really make here, to be honest. So we're just going to leave everything like that. In terms of the car, we're going to go ahead and start improving the reliability of everything that we can. So the things that go usually, the engine, I want to say the brakes as well, and suspension, in my opinion, are always the ones. Obviously, the front wing could be a little bit iffy here and there, but 80% is pretty good. And obviously, everything's all equalized. So in terms of designing a new part, I think we should already start looking into designing new parts. In terms of what's maybe crucial coming up, well, we've got a whole good mix, really, of things. So actually, in fact, I'm just going to look at what we need to improve upon the most, which I believe looks like either the brakes, or not the brakes, sorry, the gearbox, or the suspension. I'm going to go for suspension, since that's going to take a little bit less time as well. So we'll go for that. We'll go for plus 20 in the corners. That'll be 780. That's decent. That'll get done 17 days before the Grand Prix. So we'll have that done in time for the Australian Grand Prix. So that'll be good. So we're going to move forward then and see if there are any more new emails to come through. Looks like there's just fan reaction to me coming in. And we've got the suspension part built straight away as well. Decent. So going to go ahead and build another. We're P6 still. Do we delve into suspension more? I think we should. We'll go plus 20. We've got... Ooh, this is interesting. Plus 20... Oh, plus 2 build time, plus 50 risk level, though. That's not really useful. Plus 40 minus reliability. We can always get that up, though. So I think we'll go for that. So 2 new suspension mods being built before the first race. Decent progress. I think I'll leave it at 2, and I'll build a gearbox if we can in time. But let's have a quick gander at this then. So this is our new suspension. It's not even worth improving that, actually. It's not even worth improving that, because that's not actually going to be better than what we've got right now. So they should just have to do iterations there. Got an interview with Sky. Accept the interview. McLaren Grand Prix is your new home. Isn't the best team in F1. What's your plan? Aim to plant a solid foundation. I think that's very true. It's a foundation year. You know, we're solidifying everything. They're happy with those answers. Carlos Sainz seems to be your top driver. Do you agree? What would you say? Or would you say Lando Norris is better? I'm going to say I've inherited 2 great drivers. Obviously, keep them both happy there. I'm expected to finish 8th. We'll do better. We'll do better. I'm going to promise that, because I think we can definitely do better. P4 is the target. I've been a legendary engineer at pit lane for years. My background will be advantageous. I will have some great insight into the car. I'm just going to say that. Decent interview. Decent answers. Drivers are all very happy. So let's move forward then. We've got this new suspension being built, and our reliability will all get done actually before we even get to that part done. So that's pretty decent. And we'll design now. That's still P6, so there's probably still more to go, but I want to do a gearbox now, just in case, to get some iterations on that as well. So, plus 25, or we can do minus 1 build time, may as well. If it's going to be 755, we may as well just do... Yeah, we may as well just do iterations, basically, and get kind of stuck into it. Also beginning of the season, we have to look into some sponsors here. So we've got slot number 6 and 3. So let's have a look at the smaller one here. Slot number 6, Gas Monkey. I don't even know what that's. Hajin, and then Habag Lloyd. I don't know if that's a bank or some kind, but we've got 3 stars, 4 stars. Our sponsor appeal is 4 stars. You can see there, the team marketability is 80%. Our drivers are very marketable, as they are in real life, as you would imagine. Lando Norris 100%, but team marketability a little bit down, so that lets us down overall there. But I'm going to have to see. 12th or above, we should definitely be aiming for that. That's way more than that. That's more than that, but what's this going to be? Upfront payment, only 2 million. That's pretty much nothing there. So if I just look at this then... divide that by 14 races, that's 173. This is by far the best sponsor there, so we'll go ahead and accept that. So that'll be a pretty easy sponsor, I think, probably, to get every single race in terms of the target. And then sponsor slot 1, this is a bit of a bigger sponsor. We've got Heineken, MI Jack products, and Oreo, which would make a lot of sense for Lando Norris, because obviously you tip Oreos in milk, so that would make a lot of sense. Upfront payments, though, only 10 million, whereas Heineken is 18, so I've got to go for Heineken. No brainer there, even though Oreo would be more of a meme. I'm going to go for Heineken. 18 million, accept that offer. 13 races as well, so that will get done before the season's even over, and that looks pretty decent on the side pod, actually, I would say. A little bit annoying that it's not a little bit higher to kind of not be right on where the black line is on the McLaren livery, but it looks decent enough there, so good stuff. So we've already got 21 million then. That's a lot of money to spend, and clearly, obviously, right now, with the way our HQ and the car's built, And the way the mod is, I'm going to have to delve into a lot of iterations before I can even see improvements on the parts, basically, because the 2 parts we've made on the suspension arms are still worse than the ones we've actually got right now. So it's going to be, it's nice. I like this. I like how it's going right now. In terms of this, it seems like it's going to be a real challenge to even start improving the car. I think it'll take till about episode 3 or 4 to really start improving the car in every area, really, because we're going to have to do these iterations to even get there, basically. So it's going to be a bit of a tough one in terms of we're definitely going to have to watch ourselves, and Renault and Toros are going to be right there snipping at our heels. But we've got that gearbox made. We'll make another one and try and delve in more. -1 build time. I may as well spend some more money and just get this done, because the quicker I can turn it around, the better. So I'll just spend some extra money. 1.5 million. Seems like a lot, but it'll be worth it if we can just try and turn this around and get into the development tree a little faster. But Sydney, we've got a 40% chance of rain, so that could help us out. Obviously, rain's always useful in the opening round of a season, you know, when it's already hectic enough. But like I said, with this gearbox, yeah, you can see there, not better than one we've got, so just going to try and delve through. Right, we've gone through 3 iterations of suspension arms already. We got to Epic, and Pat Fry has got a great little component here of adding a random legendary component. So even though this is just an iteration, effectively, I will still get a legendary component here. Which is pretty damn decent, actually. So that's pretty cool. So we'll get to that. I think we don't actually even have legendary unlocked, though. So in that case, I might want to make... basically a part with all the kind of trimmings, basically, because we've only got legendary engine. Everything else is great. Actually, hang on. Everything's great. So we've actually only unlocked that because we've got Pat Fry, basically, in terms of, do I not even have this? Yeah, I only have this part of Epic, which is actually okay, actually, because that skips us onto a tier, of course. So that's pretty sweet. So we might need to invest in HQ, and that's kind of almost like McLaren. They would need to invest in their HQ to kind of really build upon a foundation here. So might need to think about that, actually, in terms of investing more into it. We've got a legendary engine, though, so that's fine. Just might need to invest in bits and bobs. I mean, if we wanted to invest in suspension or gearbox, that'd be telemetry sensor. So what's that? Where is that based here? There we go, level 2. That costs us 6 million. That's quite a big investment, but could be worth it. But for now, our whole station, I'm just curious. I want to build the suspension arm and just see how it goes. All right, plus 20. We'll go plus 40 here. I'll do plus 40 there. And then random legendary. Let's see how that goes, because that's 860 now. And then plus a random legendary. Could be pretty damn awesome. So that'll get done 11 days after the Grand Prix. Cost us 1.1 million. Not too bad. That was a max of 850. And we've got 880 here. But then with the legendary random component, that could be the best gearbox, best suspension we got, sorry. 850. Yeah, so 850 maybe plus legendary. Could be the best one we got. So we'll see about that. But yeah, right now it looks like, because the way I've had to make the mod with it being from 2019, the way the iterations are all going, it's all a little bit kind of just, you have to just keep spending money just to get through to the actual improvements, but it's going to make the challenge so much harder for us now. Alright, so we go through now towards practice for the Australian Grand Prix tyre selection, what we're going to take in. Obviously now we've got this back, we can select how many tyres we want, because the tyre wear is going to be really poor for us, I think. I think we're going to have to take in a decent amount of ultras, I think, and even mediums. Like, I don't know, we'll take in 4 each, but I think we're going to need a lot of ultras. Maybe, actually, no, that could be a way. Maybe because the tyre wear is high, maybe the middle tyre will be actually quite useful for us. So let's take in 5, actually. And we'll just go in descending order, basically. But this one's a bit of a tester race. This one will really see how bad the tyre wear is and what works and what doesn't. In terms of fit parts, let's have a look here. So, contractually, Carlos here is number 1 and Lando is number 2 here. So, they've all got the same parts, though. So, Carlos is angry, but I'm not giving him a better car. It's just all just the same, so that's a little bit unfortunate, and he's just not happy with where the car is in general. Both of them aren't happy with where the car is in general, but that's to be expected, obviously. But literally, I've given him, they've got the exact same car, so he's just angry for no reason, basically. Right, we've got a regular practice session once again, unlike the Ferrari crewman, where it's a little bit longer now, so we have time to work with. In terms of what I do with knowledge, I don't know, because like I said, I don't know what the tyre wear level is really going to be like with this car. Don't know if conservative strategy will work out with this team. We'll have to go aggressive, so I'm just going to get the medium tyre knowledge, and we'll go for the Ultras, and then we'll wing it and just basically see. It's definitely going to be a bit of a testing first few episodes to really suss out what the best way to operate this team is, because it's going to be very different to how we operated with Ferrari. And of course, our goals are different. You know, we're not fighting for the win. We're trying to just beat Renault and Toro Rosso and just try and score the max points we can, really. But if there's any rain to come as well, that might be handy for us. But for now, yeah, just go out and get the medium tire knowledge, get the get the race trim done as well, and obviously try and get the best setup we can for both drivers. Right, we're just going to get level 2 there on the race trim and the mediums. Of course, Lando, Norris and Carlos Sainz are a little bit less on the feedback there, so the speed that this knowledge gets up through the bar is a bit slower there. So we've taken quite a chunky bit of practice just to get level 2. I haven't even checked this up yet, so I don't know if it's horrendous or not, but now we need to get to doing qualifying trim and ultra, and it's pretty damn decent for Sainz. That's a very good start to the season, the entire series there, with 2 excellents and 1 great. 96, I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm going to leave it there, actually. Don't want to faff around with that too much, so we'll go ultra and ultra and quali trim, and for Norris, he'll come in. Let's see, please, is it going to be okay? It's okay. 3 goods. Definitely could make some improvements there. I don't know what improvements he wants to see, potentially. Maybe lower downforce, but I don't really know. It's very hard when you're on good to know where you need to go, basically. So I'm going to try lower downforce. Let's see how that goes out. From speed balance, let's go to about top end speed, and then let's go towards understeer. Let's see how that works out. I have a hunch that's going to be horrendously not the way we need to go, but oh well, let's go through. We can tweak in Q1 still, like we did with the Ferrari series as well. That's the thing. Because even though we are with McLaren, we should comfortably get through into Q2, I think. It's Q3 that's going to be maybe the question mark every single race. Right, we've got level 2 on the Ultras and Quali Trim. I'm going to keep them out on this stint because I may as well. So they might just tick over to level 3 here, which in hindsight maybe should have done for race trim, but I didn't know how the timing was going to be for it. We've had to change Lando Norris' setup once more because the way we did go was horrendously wrong. Now it's much better, he's saying, so that should be good. And I think we should maybe just get level 3. Come on, as we go through right to the end of the session. I think we'll just get it here. So kind of a little bit odd for the first time. I've got more knowledge for quali than I do for the race, and that's a bit of a mistake for me. But like I said, didn't really know how the timing was going to go. But Sainz looks pretty decent there, P5. But obviously, I don't know who, what else. What the other guys been doing, what how they've run their practice session, but exciting times. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go into Q1 then, and to qualify as a whole, and just see where this car stacks up. This will be the first time we get to see really what the job at hand is for this entire series, I guess. Right, I'm going to take in Ultras and Quali Trim for both the drivers here. Good to see actually Carlos Sainz there had light-footed on one of his perks there, so that might come in handy later on. You never know if there's ever a point where we don't have enough knowledge of other parts. But for this first session, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to send them out on supers and see if they can get through. They can. That might be useful just for us to save tyres and just kind of have enough to play around with, basically. And also just want to see if it would work out. Like, genuinely, if we have enough pace to make it through into Q2 on supers. If we do, I'll be happy about that. Right, they've set their lap times. They've gone slower than Haas and one of the Alphas of Raikkonen. So that might say we don't have enough pace to get through on super soft. So let's just see. We're 6/10 off Renault there, Ricciardo and Ocon. So probably, I don't know, this might be a little bit fine here in terms of making it through. Actually, you know what? No. Actually, that's all right. That's all right, actually. That's all right. Just the fact that Raikkonen and Grosjean just look very fast. Okay, I think we can make it through there. We should be safe. We're 7/10 off the drop time. That should be fine. Hopefully Gio doesn't gain about 7/10 there, so I think we should be good. Right, Q2 then. This is the real question then. Can we get through into Q3 nice and sound? Renault looked like they have the pace, so we should, in theory, have the paces on paper. We are there with them. We'll start on this tire, obviously, for the race tomorrow on a set of Ultras. Hopefully, we only need one run here to get through, but you never know. This is a new world, It's not going to be as simple as it always was with the Ferrari career. So, hopefully, they can do a decent job and just get through, please. All nice and sound. Right, Sainz starts his lap. He's got a bit of traffic there with the Alfa Romeo. Norris has got a bit of clean air behind Sainz, so let's see how this goes then. In terms of the lap times, Raikkonen set a 1:31.9, it would seem, or I don't know if that's a glitched time on the top there. Let's see as we go towards the line then. Carlos Sainz crosses the line right behind the Alpha and gets a 132.8. Norris 3/10 off him there, 3.5 off, but we are faster than Grosjean now, and Grosjean looked pretty damn rapid in Q1, so hopefully that is us through into the top 10 shootout. But let's see as all the other times come in. Ocon's gone just a little bit faster than us. Hamilton obviously 6/10 quicker, 7.5 quicker. So that's, obviously that's the job we have. We have to gain about, you're looking at about 8/10 here to the top runners to get to a position where we're, in a championship fight. So we're at least, you can see the task that we got and how long it's going to take here. But in terms of what we've got to do now, in terms of being there with Renault and being ahead of Toro Rosso and keeping the midfield at bay, there or thereabouts. Ricciardo set a really poor lap time, so right now he'll be knocked out. Ocon set a good one, he's matched us. Norris a little bit slower than Sainz, so he could be I could potentially see him a little bit. He could be in the drop zone there. There's only 1/10. I think I should send him out just in case, because I don't want to have our pants pulled down right to death here with other people improving. So I'm going to send him out on another set of ultras. That means he has one less for the race, but hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. But I'll send him out. Sainz I'll leave in the garage. I think he should be fine. All right, here we go then. Norris on his second run, hopefully a little bit quicker maybe. Gone green in the first sector. What's the second going to say? Green in the second sector, so good stuff there. About 6/10 off would put him where Ocon is, so that'll be a decent showing there. Across the line for Norris, and that's P9. That's a lot better. Still a little bit slower than Sainz, so still lacking some pace there, but that's a lot better. A little bit further away from the drop zone there. But still only 2/10 away from the drop zone, so still, I don't know. Ricciardo's P15. He set a green, though, so this should probably put him into the top 10 shootout, I would imagine. I think Renault would be quite upset if they weren't. Let go through, and Ricciardo, there we go. So both Renaults are through, we're through, and 1 racing point and 1 Alpha of Giovinazzi, surprisingly, is through, actually. That's surprising. I thought Raikkonen would be the one that gets through. But decent. Good showing there. Top 10 shootout. Looks like Renault have a little bit more pace than us right now, over 1 lap maybe, but hopefully our race pace could be better. But let's try and take the fight to them. We're only 1/10 off with Sainz there. Right, top 10 shootout. Basically just trying to aim for best of the rest, really. P7 and P8 if we can. And try and basically just get ahead of Renault if we can. But might be easier said than done. We're going to wait a little bit because track grip's going to go up still. So we'll just wait right now and hold station for now. Let other people go out, and then we'll send them out for 1 run. And then do 1 right to death. There'll be no rain, at least I hope. Doesn't look like it. At the end of the session, so hopefully we'll get 2 runs here. But here we go, track grip's going bit max, so we'll send them out now. Hopefully they won't hit too much traffic there. No, don't think so. We got Sainz over here, the hairpin, decent amount of clean air, a lot of clean air actually, and then Lando Norris at the other hairpin, clean air as well. So pretty good timing actually for both our drivers. So let's see how we do then. At the moment, Ricciardo with a 132.9 goes fastest. Obviously, other people yet to set their lap times there, but that's what we're aiming for. Hamilton with a 132 dead. We're aiming for Ricciardo and Ocon, though. Let's see how we go. We're 3/10 off with Sainz, apparently. Second sector, 6/10 off. That would be quicker than Ricciardo, but last sector to come. We're going to lose some time here, I feel. In the last sector, across the line, and it is, quicker than Ocon, but slower than Ricciardo. Decent splits the 2 Renaults. Let's see what Lando Norris is saying. He's 6/10 off as well in the second sector. Across the line for the third, and we also get him ahead of Ocon. Decent first lap there. Split the 2 Renaults with both our drivers. Ricciardo, though, little bit of time to find to him. Let's see if this second run could be a little bit better to find that extra time. And actually, you got to look at it. We're not actually too far off Albon there in the other Red Bull. So I think not only us, but Renault will all be looking to maybe try and capitalise and, maybe get Albon over the course of the season, potentially. Right, we've only got 141 left. I don't know if this is enough time to really send them out. I'm going to send them out anyway, but this might be very, very fine on getting them round this circuit. 135. Ooh, they might not have enough time there. I think by the time they got out it was 130, wasn't it? So I don't think they'll have enough time. Let's see as they go through. Maybe Sainz might just sneak through. Let's go. Last few seconds. No, we've run out of time. Checkered flag's fallen. God damn it. We didn't have enough time. Thankfully, Ricciardo has set 2 whites, so he's not gone any faster, but Stroll did go faster. Sebastian Vettel grabs a late provisional pole there. Bottas then comes through, and then Ocon with the great time. So at the end of the session, we've really mucked it up there with the timing there. That's a bad mistake. Ocon, Ricciardo, and Stroll ahead of us there. We're P10 and P11. Not as ideal as I hoped for, but hey-ho, there you go. That's a little bit frustrating. That's the kind of mistake we can't be making here with a team like McLaren in the midfield fight. There's such close margins. We can't be making mistakes like that. It's a 1-2 for Merc. Bottas on pole. Right, race time then. Let's have a look then at what we are saying with these tyres. They'll go 9 laps. I know the mediums go about, I think, 16 or 18 or something like that. So 6, probably 25. You're looking about 15-ish. I think we can do two. I think we can do a 2-stop on 2 sets of mediums. I think that'll be the way to go for us. So we'll take in that knowledge we've got of the mediums and the race. Only level 2, unfortunately. Which is a bit annoying, but hopefully other people are in the same boat. But basically just try and stretch this tire as long as we can, and then go 2 mediums. I think that'll be the strategy for us. I don't think there's any point doing too much aggression, unless there's rain. There's a 40% chance of rain, but right now it's saying no rain, and it says sunny the entire race weekend, so I don't have too much hope. Hopefully, these guys aren't too slow on the starts like Vettel, Leclerc, and Verstappen are, but as I've said that, I'll probably just jinxed it, and they will be. But here we go then, from P10 and P11 on the grid, our very first race with McLaren F1 for the F1 2020 Fantasy Career Mode here. 5 red lights are out, and we're underway for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a good start by Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris there. Very decent, that's what I love to see. Carlos Sainz round the outside then of that is Ricciardo, and Norris gets him done, and Norris sends it down the inside. He's up into P7 now as he has overtaken Albon. He's on the outside of Leclerc there nearly as well, so it's a cracking start by Norris, but it's even better one by Ocon. I've only realised Ocon in the Renault is up into P5 there. Norris has got Leclerc, or he briefly did, now he's not anymore, but a very quick start then from ourselves and our rivals at Renault there, minus Ricciardo. Ricciardo's down to P15, but Ocon, lightning start for him, but look at that, a little bit of team play there, sandwiching the Red Bull, and Norris gets it around the outside of Albon maybe, sorry, that's Carlos Sainz I should say. We've been overtaken by Raikkonen though, so it's all very close at the moment. Let's keep on pushing here, don't overheat them too much, but oh, Gasly's crashed in the Toro Rosso straight on at turn 1. P6 is Lando Norris, that's the sit rep here basically, but he's being overtaken by Leclerc as we speak, and Carlos Sainz is still chasing after Alexander Albon, but Gasly's crashed. That'll be a first race to forget for him in 2020. Sainz still unable to get Albon, and Norris has actually kept Leclerc at bay and is actually overtaken Ocon. Norris is flying at the moment. To say that in the game stats, Sainz is the better driver. Norris is doing a peachy job right now, but we've got to try and save fuel. Remember, Sainz is good at saving fuel. He's easy on the fuel, so that might be one thing that sees him getting back into this Grand Prix. The fact that he can save fuel a little bit better maybe than Lando Norris. But we'll try and calm this down, the tyre heating, try and stretch this now. Probably go conservative, I would say. Right, Norris being attacked by Leclerc. Probably only a matter of time before we get overtaken by the Ferrari, I would say. It's really just Ocon instead that I'm worried about. But for now, he's actually keeping the Ferrari at bay. Sainz makes a mistake, but he's overtaken Albon crucially. So Sainz is past Albon. For how long, though? Because Albon comes back at him there on the outside and gets the job done. So Sainz back down to P9, unfortunately, there. But there's a big train here, you know, from Norris to Sainz. They're all very bunched up, which is good to see. Oh, and Ocon has crashed. And the safety car is out. Pause this here. Where on earth is he crashed? I didn't even see that there. I was looking at Lando Norris. He's crashed into the barrier in the last sector there, and so the fast-starting Frenchman in the wall. But that's, you know, that's how the first race of the season goes sometimes. You know, it can be very erratic. And in that note, I'm going to pit Norris. I think that these will only go 3 more laps, so we'll pit him right now. Fast pit stop, get him in. Probably try and even double stack Sainz. I think it'll be worth to do him as well. So let's double stack him and come in. Right, Norris is in. We're going to double stack him with Sainz. Hopefully we won't lose too much time. Come on, good pit stop. Nice. Lovely, lovely timing there. Sainz comes out. Big gaggle of cars there. He actually loses... Well, actually, no. One of the Mercs loses position there. And we come out in P12. Lando Norris has come out in P6. He's gained massively by pitting on the safety car, I think, because Ricciardo's going to come in. Raikkonen, well, he's not going to come in, but Raikkonen will have to come in later because he starts on medium. So decent stuff here. Right, safety cars are heading to the garage. So now I'm going to go to attack, overtake, and let's try and push very hard on this restart then. Norris in P6, Sainz in P12. Sainz got a little bit shafted with that double stack, but a lot of other people did as well, including Bottas, and there's a few of these guys who are yet to pit in this Grand Prix at all. And actually, I've got to say, the leaders haven't pit yet. They didn't come in, so very weird. Hamilton comes in straight away off the restart, so very odd decision there. Lando Norris up into P5 then with that. Ricciardo's going to be susceptible, hopefully, so maybe can we try and catch Verstappen napping as he overtakes Ricciardo, potentially. Sainz already up into P10. That's good work for him. He's attacking Valtteri Bottas. Let's just see. Let's fast forward this and see how this goes. Yes, he gets Ricciardo. P4 then for Norris. And Sainz up into P9. He overtakes the Mercedes car. Absolutely awesome stuff there for Carlos Sainz. Great stuff. Right. Carry on like this until we get to a decent level of heating for the mediums as Norris makes a mistake. And oh no. Oh no, he's crashed. He's crashed with Daniel Ricciardo. Already, McLaren and Renault coming towards here as rivals. Lando Norris has crashed. Mate, you were doing so well here as Sainz is overtaking Albon. So Sainz now coming back into this Grand Prix maybe. Because Norris, well, we're going to have to pit surely. We've got the drive-through, so I'm not going to pit right now. I'm going to have to, well, actually, you know what? I probably should pit to fix the front wing first, then do the drive-through. So fix that part. Go on to another set of mediums. And just try and pray and stretch this stint as long as we can, basically. But we're going to have to come through for a drive-through as well at the same time. So that's a bit of a shame there. Carlos Sainz will go neutral and we'll go high. Norris will come in. We'll go low fuel there. In. Right, makes the pit stop. Fast pit stop. Oh, mistake on the pit stop as well. Not what you want. And then going to have to come in again for the drive-through. So Norris is down to P21. That's his race completely shot. That's very unfortunate. That's not how you want to start the season off, but other people obviously had karma. You know, obviously Gasly's out, Ocon's out, so maybe only fair that, you know, because we're in a fight with Toro Rosso and Renault, I guess. So it's only fair that Norris kind of yeeted out of the points of this GP, but now it's all down to Carlos Sainz to fly the flag for the team here. He's up to P5 to be fair, so he's done really well to get ahead of Grosjean, Bottas, Albon, Massa. Looking okay. Meanwhile, Norris serves his drive-through now. Goes through down the pit lane, and he is in, well, he would be in stone dead last, but Kvyat's in stone dead last. But Grosjean, with a massive engine failure behind us there with Sainz. We're already ahead of him, though, so white manner. But he's out of the GP, so one more retirement. 3 retirements so far in this Grand Prix. Right, sit rep on lap 12 then. Sainz is still P5, which would be an excellent, excellent position for us to finish in, really, if you think about it. Albon's chasing after us. Vettel's just pit, so we're up into P4 now. Albon's looking a little bit more dangerous than I would like, so we're going to have to watch out for this. But I think we're in the region for maybe getting P5 in this first race, if we can hold through this position and this tyre wear, which would be flipping amazing from McLaren to start off the season with. Norris is up into P19. He's actually ahead of Hamilton, which I don't get how that's happened. I think Hamilton must have had some sort of crash or incident because he's behind us. So these two Brits are way down the order, which is unfortunate, but hey-ho. So we'll go high fuel with him. Sainz, I want to save some fuel now, I think. So we'll go medium and neutral because the tyre heating is getting towards the cold area. So we'll probably can afford to go a little bit more aggressive on those tyres, try and heat them up a little bit. Goes and overtakes us. He made that pit stop, obviously, so he re-overtakes us there for position. So we're down to P4 once more, but Raikkonen is now pit, and obviously he stayed out quite a long time on mediums at the start of the GP. So in actual fact, because of Hamilton's demise, we very much might be fighting for P4 now, which would be a very good start to this season for Carlos Sainz here. Right, lap 16. For some reason, we're closing up to Vettel. He's saving a lot of fuel right now. He's the only man in the top 5, 6 saving fuel, and that's really hurting his performance because we caught right back up to him, and we might even have a chance to overtake him, you know, unless he starts pushing again on the fuel. Verstappen's now made a pit stop. We're up into P3. He's on mediums. Surely that'll go to the end of the Grand Prix, though, so I can't actually tell how this is going to swing out. It all depends on, well, the pace we've got and the pace we will have once these tyres start wearing out for us. That's the one thing I'm worried about. This bad tyre wear for our chassis, I'm just worried that I won't go the distance. But for now, lap 17, 41%. I'm actually surprised how the tyre wear is. I was picturing something a lot worse when I saw that 1.5 stars for the chassis tyre wear. Right, warm tyres for Carlos Sainz. Going to start pushing him in and go flat out attack here and try and gain some time on this in-lap then. And I'll probably come in on this next lap as he's up into P2. As Leclerc pits. And yeah, I think I'll come in now. We get a decent amount of time. Right, pit in. We've got 12 laps left. Mediums apparently go 18. We could go to super softs, but I just don't want... Do I want to risk it? How much tyre we've got right now? 21%. We could still go on for one more lap here and just see what Albon does. I want to see what Albon does. So we're going for one more lap. Albon, is he in? Yes, he's in. What does Albon do? Supers, right. That's it. We're going to cover off Albon and go on supers, even though I don't kind of want to, because that's a little bit on the fine margin of, 11 laps left. The bottom lap of this is 12. But I think I should cover him off with the same tyre compound. Meanwhile, Lando Norris is P12 right now. But that's deceiving because he's going to have to make another pit stop. But I'll probably go into Ultras actually and just go flat-out attack with Lando Norris at the end of this one. So to that effect, actually, I might start pushing now, in fact, and try and get a start on that kind of in-lap, basically. But Sainz, he's in. He's going to come in. He's gained 1/10 on this in-lap. He's actually closed up to Vettel here and continued to close up to him. But we're now in. Right, pit stop. Onto the set of super softs. Please, guys, make this a good pit stop. No mistake. Good stuff. Out in... Where are we going to be? P4. Still ahead of Albon. Good stuff there. Behind Leclerc by about 6 seconds. That's fine. Decent. Right, save fuel. That's what we need to do now. We pushed a lot on fuel on that in-lap, so we've got to save that fuel. And Lando Norris, meanwhile, overtakes for P10 then. But his tyres are now worn, so we'll start pushing with him. And we'll come in probably on the next lap, I would say, because we've still got some tyre wear there to go. Right, yellow flag, sector 2. We'll pit in for Norris onto a set of Ultras now. Fresh Ultras, so that'll be pretty decent. Fast pit stop as well. Meanwhile, with Sainz, he saved a decent amount of fuel. Albon's right behind us, so I'm going to go back to medium fuel just so he's not pressurised too much there. And just keep it like this for now. Right. Meanwhile, Lando is in. Low fuel, in. Right, good pit stop, please. No mistake. Yes, good stuff. And we're out in P12. You know what? He's made a decent recovery here to P12. That's a very decent recovery. And now I'll just go pushing. And let's try and catch some people. Right, so we've got 6 laps left remaining. And I've realised, basically, Merc have really bottled this race. Bottas is P7, Hamilton's P8. They're 1-2 in qualifying. Unless Vettel and Verstappen have to pit again and right at the death of this race, they've really bottled it, Mercedes. Because right now it's Vettel in P1, Verstappen P2, Leclerc P3, we're in P4, and we're keeping Albon very much at bay at an arm's length of about 3 seconds. Norris, I don't know what he's saying. He's in P11. The next car along is a few seconds down the road. It's Ricciardo, to be fair, and he's in P10. That's 1 point, so it would be very good if we could catch him up here for that last point, but we'll see about that. He's on more worn super soft, so we could catch him maybe. Hamilton, though, is now pushing, but I doubt he'll catch up to us with Sainz. So I think we've got a very, very decent chance of being P4 here, which is going to be amazing. Right, Magnussen's crashed, yellow flags. That's 4 retirements now in this Grand Prix. We're going to start pushing Lando Norris now, just throw the kitchen sink at it, because I may as well, because it's either no points or 1 point with Ricciardo. So even if I get Ricciardo and the tyres wear out and we get no points, it's the same as being in P11. So I may as well chuck it out and just push hard and be as aggressive as I used to be maybe in the middle of the Ferrari Season 2. With Sainz, we're just keeping things at bay. I can actually go high fuel here because we've got the fuel to burn. Vettel's in the pit lane. And we will not jump him, though. So, yeah, Max will hope for his P4 here. We've only got 3 laps left. Surely, come on, Sainz. Just keep it through. I'm not gonna make him push. Just go nice and easy. Don't push too much. Don't crash. Get this car through to the end of the race for P4. That'll be a mega, mega way to start the season. Meanwhile, with Norris, he is here. Ricciardo is chasing down Stroll. So those two might hamper each other. And hopefully I can just swoop in and get this P10 or P9 maybe even. Let's see. Here we go, last 2 laps of the GP. And we're closing up on Ricciardo here, pushing, going to go high now. Can we get it into turn 1 maybe? Ooh, close stuff there for Lando Norris. As we come through sector 2, unable to make anything work there. Going to save some fuel here, just go medium and save this for the last lap of the Grand Prix with overtake mode. Meanwhile with Sainz, I may as well go overtake mode here now. And it's the final lap, let's go full out attack, it's the final lap, let's push it. And then with Norris, let's go high now and just remain like that. All right, let's see what Sainz can do now on these supers. White first sector, not that great. Green second sector, but it's going to be Charles Leclerc with very worn tyres here. Look at this. Very, very worn tyres there, but Leclerc comes through. It might be a photo finish, you know. Look at this. They slow down. Leclerc slows down, but no, Leclerc will get the win. It's going to be Verstappen, Vettel third, but look at that. Carlos Sainz, P4. Mega, mega stuff there. What a start to the season for Carlos Sainz. Lando Norris, unfortunately, can't get P10 there. Even pushing flat out, the tyres just wore out too much there at the end, and so we'll have to settle for P11. No points here today, unfortunately. Sorry, Lando. But obviously that was your own fault for crashing with Ocon, and Ocon DNF'd at the Grand Prix. So that was unfortunate for him. But Carlos Sainz, What a man, the Spaniard, already starting off the campaign strong with getting the best of the rest. P4 did the job. This is exactly what we need to do in McLaren. Make the most of when big teams trip over themselves. This is going to be a common theme, hopefully, over the season. Just getting those points when we get a little bit lucky and the strategy pays out for us. Right, so in terms of the constructors, we're there. P4 already with 12 points there. Renault already 10 points behind us, racing point ahead of them, so we've done very well against Renault, and also the likes of Toro Rosso there, who on paper are right there with Renault, and they got no points, so very good first episode for us here for this season. So we have 1.9 million into the bank. That's a decent amount of financial coming in basically every episode, if that's going to be the case there, so that will help us keep up the momentum that we need to, basically, I think, because obviously, like I said before, earlier in the episode, the iterations are so difficult here in terms of you have to dive into so many. We have to spend a lot of money here to really get any progress with this team. But I would say, obviously, bad race for Lando, but great one for Sainz. So all in all, can't complain too much because obviously it's the first opening round. Things happen. At least none of our drivers crash, basically, and the morale's still pretty damn high. So decent first episode, I would say, in the McLaren 2020 career. Guys, if you did enjoy it, then be sure to smash the like button. If you're looking forward to the rest of the season as well, then be sure to hit it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.